connected. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Technology Tuesday. I'm here with Jerry Franklin Poe, and I'm Greg Russell. And today we got an exciting show for you guys today. I cannot wait to dive into this content. It is going to touch a lot of people, a lot of businesses, and is going to be something that we're all working on, striving towards, and will basically determine how AI integrates with you and your business. So, Jerry, without further ado, we're about to dive right in and we're going to start right now.
All right, folks. Welcome to Technology Tuesday. We're here every week at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you that practical knowledge, practical applications. You got practical solutions for your business. And Greg has been in the lab working. I'm not sure if you follow us in the group, but if you do not, I would highly recommend you join the group technologytuesday.com. And there's been some things happening with this AI and using AI, not just as a generative AI. It's just like, because some people, I was talking to somebody the other day, they're like, they're using AI just a little bit above a search engine. It's like, it's not done too deep. But now, how do I get AI to become an essential component and to partner with my business to really scale to the next level?
Yes, sir. That is exactly what I'm hearing from my clients and colleagues as well, where most of us are kind of dabbling or working with or trying to set up AI to be more efficient. And so what I've been working on extremely hard and extremely long is, finding what is the absolute best way to set up AI. And so before we dive into that, these AI programs like Open AI's ChatGPT and Anthropic's Claude, for many of the users, they are online applications where you go to the website and you just log in and you start using it. But at the beginning of 2026, something happened which changed a little bit of how this whole thing works. And that is where you can download an app, and that app can allow the AI to actually control and see some files on your computer. And so for most of the first 3 months of this year, people were going crazy about things like OpenClaw and Claude Cowork, because now this software allowed for you to actually use AI to see files and touch your computer and work with the code. And so that over the last 7 months, it has been developing and developing fast. And when it first came out, Jerry, you had ChatGPT, and their coding agent was called Codex, and it was separate. And then Anthropic had Cowork, and they also had Code, and they were separate. Well, over the last few months, they've kind of merged, and now even though they're still separate within the apps, they're one app, and they can actually see some of the things within the same app. So they're not as separate as they were before, which allows you to even have more functionality. So just to be clear, I'm talking about what I'm going to be talking about and sharing with you is how to use the AI programs that are on your computer in these desktop apps for Claude, Cowork, Claude Code, and OpenAI's ChatGPT desktop app with its coding companion Codex. And so those are the ones that I'm talking about. But this could be any AI that gives you an app that's on your computer that can access your files. And the key function that I want you to understand is when it can access your files, it gives your AI so much power if and only if it actually knows you and your business. And that's what the topic we're talking about today is how to actually own your memory. And I think it's so important that you understand the concept and then figure out exactly what to do to get it to own your memory. So Jerry, before I go on, man, I know you are the voice of reason and the optimistic one who typically has the questions that our viewers would have. So before I go into technical stuff, What are you thinking? What are your thoughts? What questions do you have, if any?
I think we're good now. I think a lot of people are probably just curious. They're been hearing a lot. There's been a lot of buzz around these new AI agents, but they may not really be clear on how it could best serve their business.
Yeah, so you're right. And the question I have is that I think everyone should have is, what do these companies want? What does Anthropic want? What does OpenAI want? Right? Because they have their programs, they have their software, they have their pricing. You know, you can get started on their paid plans for approximately $20 a month, and both of them are very similar, where the next plan up is $100 a month, and then the next plan up is $200 a month. And basically what those do is give you more usage. The more you use the AI, because it uses computing processing power, that uses resources, and water is one of them, right? It actually uses a resource to compute, to think, if that's what you want to consult it as. So it actually uses resources. So what do they want? And my assumption would be that they would want subscribers, right? They would want more people to be on their program, so that they would have the opportunity to use more of their program to go to the higher plans. I believe that's what they want. And I believe they're competing with each other and the other AI services out there to get as many subscribers as they want. So someone who understands technology and subscription services, a company tries to build things in that will make that each user sticky. What that means is hard for them to leave their service after they've been using it for a while and go to another. And so what they've done is they allow you to build things into their system, which is memory, and things like skills and things like plugins, so that once you start to develop things inside their software, it would be very difficult for you to leave quickly if you needed to leave. Now, outside of AI, I've seen this happen over and over and over again, where you'd be involved with a company and then something happens, some sort of change, and then you need to change, and it's difficult to do that. One of the most frustrating ones for me, which I've mentioned several times on this show, was Evernote, and how all of my notes were in Evernote, and then they got bought and sold several times, and it got to a point where it's like, all right, I want to leave. And it was really challenging to find a way to move all of my notes out, or continue paying what I considered an outrageous fee for notes on my notes. So and that's just one example, but I've seen this happen over and over again. So these AI services are really valuable, but you need to use them strategically so that they are even more valuable for you and not necessarily them. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today about how to and why you should have your own memory with these AI tools. So, any questions before I before I dive in? I
No,
just want to
man,
make sure.
you're good. You're
Okay,
good to
cool.
go.
So yeah, man. So basically, the thing we're talking about is like systems over tools. So you have the tool, but you need to make it your own system. And what I've done is I've looked at all the ways that you could use an AI system, but to have your own memory locally on your computer that you could back up if you need to, and be able to switch to a different AI if you wanted to. And so there's ways to do it with Markdown files, which is just like a simple text file. There's ways to do it with databases, which is a little bit more technical. But long story short, you want to set it up so that you can have your own memory. And so if these AI companies want subscribers, they're going to try to do things to lock you in. And you, as the entrepreneur, need to figure out ways that you can have your own portable memory. And that's what we've done. So we decided to use the Markdown folders on your computer because you can actually look at them. You can actually open the files and see what's in there, and you can actually physically see them with your own eyes, instead of it being in a database where there's database tables and the average person can't see what's actually in there. So these Markdown files are just basically text files that allow you to have your memory. And the way we set it up, Jerry, is very strategic. We have certain folders and certain files that are instructions. So the first file, anytime you have a conversation with your AI, if you ask it a question or whatever, the first thing it's going to do is it's going to go read the foundational document, which is its own instructions. And those instructions say, hey, this is our memory system. This is where everything is. This is how you operate. This is what you save. This is when you save it. This is how you save it. Here are the directories. And if you need information, they are there. And this is the first several things I want you to go read before you start to answer or interact with the question. So it goes, reads those things, which is about you and about your company and the last thing you was working on. So it does all of that in the background. It only takes a couple seconds, and then it will respond to your request once it knows those things. So typically that is how it works. It's beautiful, and it works in a way that's similar to how your brain works, in which it's all linked together. And so when you have it set up, you don't have to do the linking yourself. You just basically have conversations with your AI every day. And then these links and content get stored from your conversations that you're having every day. And since most people who are entrepreneurs are using it almost every day, then it makes sense to actually start to save that so that the AI can respond to it and not just the simple request that you have. So one of the ways that these companies have started to try to help with memory is creating something called projects, and where they're like, hey, the AI is going to know everything within this quote unquote folder before it respawns. And so that's one of the ways that they have tried to address the memory situation by creating projects. But projects is just a small thing when it comes to your own memory. And imagine having projects on steroids, where it's like not only do you have one folder, but you have several folders, and the AI knows what's in all those folders and only has to read the information it needs, but it knows how to get to the other information. And that's what we have for our own internal memory system. So I'm about to show it to you, but I want to make sure I got everyone on the same page because I want to make sure no one gets left behind. So any questions you got for me? Or any
Nope, go
thoughts?
ahead, man.
Okay, cool. I appreciate that. All right, so give me 1 second to move this out of my way so you guys can see it. And I'm gonna share my desktop. Jerry, let me know when you see it.
Yep, we're good.
Okay, cool. Boom. So what we have here, okay, I just got to get that out of my way. There we go. All right, so what we have here is, I want you to guys look at this folder right here first. This one, this is just a folder, and this is the brain, right? And this folder has 9 folders and 2 files. Basically the files, if you open it up, right, it's just a text file. It's hard to read because it's small, but it's just a text file. You could actually read it. It tells you what's there. But what this software is called Obsidian. This one over here that has the colored folders next to it, but these folders represent these folders. So this software is just reading this folder, and it has the exact same things in it, right? But if I click on this one, you can actually see it large, and it's easy to read, easier for you to know it's there. And this is just a text file, so you could put the mouse in there and change it if you need to. I typically don't actually use the software, and most of my clients don't either. It just needs to be running in the background, because what it does, Jerry, is it links everything together. So when you have a conversation about whatever and it's related to something else, it will automatically create a link. So if you have conversations, I'm going to click this graph window, and this basically shows all of the conversations and how they're linked together. And this is how your AI can find things when it needs it, because the links are there for it to go down a path, pick up a link, and continue if and only if it needs to. So this program called Obsidian is free for both Mac and PC. And when you have a memory vault, what it does is links things together so the AI can find all the information that it needs to respond to a request that you have when you're having a conversation with the AI. So before I continue, Jerry, do you got any questions, anything that pops out at you before I keep going?
No, I think you're good, man.
All right, cool. So basically how this works, again, when you make a request, it starts going down the operating rules. It understands what a session life is. It knows to read the file about you first, read the most recent daily, check out the memory, right? It understands routing. So these are instructions for it to basically operate. And so when you make a request, it knows to go read certain files before it responds. And so every time you make a request, it can read these files before it responds. So this is how you give it memory, because it doesn't need to do anything else but read these files and basically respond. So that is how the memory system works, and getting it set up is what most people struggle with, because it is once they know about it, then it's how do you actually set it up. And so that's kind of where we are with that right now. All right, cool. So that is the memory system. And what happens is you just take your AI, regardless of which one it is, and you point it to that folder, and you make that folder the default folder for your AI. And so when it starts, it always starts there, and it goes reads that. The cool thing, Jerry, is because these are files on your computer, it doesn't matter which AI you use. You can use Claude, you can use OpenAI's Codex, you can use them both at the same time, and they both can see the files. They can actually communicate because they both can write to the files and see what the other one has said, and they can go back and forth. That's something that I've been using and testing out with great success recently, and I was so impressed that it was able to do that. So that is the AI memory system vault that you can set up on your own computer and have, and using Obsidian to link all your files and memory notes together. Okay, what questions do you have? What thoughts do you have?
I don't think I have any question. I think it's helpful. But I mean, the key for me with all this that I think sometimes people overlook is about ownership and control. So when we're putting stuff out there and using these different options, it's like, where is the information? Because even with all of these options, the AI options, like if you're not paying attention and you don't save like as a file, you could be losing stuff. Like, you know, something gets shut down, something stops working, something disappears, everything you created pretty much is gone, right? One day it's there, one day it's not there. So having information and you have ownership of it, like on your own computer, you it's I won't use the word safe, but you have more control over keeping it long term.
Yeah, not only that, but let's dive a little bit deeper. If you're talking to AI, requesting things from AI, you are sharing things about your business, right? These could be procedures. A lot of times people want to set up skills, which is an instructions to do something. They want to, give this, have the AI do things. And so this information is, important. But a lot of times, if you don't set this up, you're going to spend so much time giving the AI information, the same information over and over, because even with the projects, right? So let's say you have a document that's about you. When you're having conversations with AI, sometimes that AI can, if it was smart enough, know that, oh, this is important, I should update that document. Well, if it's in that projects file, it's only updating that one document. In another project file where you have the same document, that other document didn't get updated, right? So there's a limitation that most people don't even see. The other thing is that, and I'll share this with you, this is such a challenge that other companies are spending millions of dollars to solve it for people, right? So check this out. If we go over here, this is just one. This is called Mem0, right? And I am not promoting this company. I'm just telling you this is one that exists. And basically the AI memory that persists across sessions and agents, right? And so there is third-party things that you can do to purchase to give your AI memory, because without memory, you technically can't have a agent, right? You can have an AI tool like Claude, but most people want AI agents to be able to go out and do things on their behalf. So for them to do them on your behalf, it has to really know you and your business. And so it needs a memory. It's one of the things that an AI agent needs to be able to do things without having you to have to look over it all the time. And so this company, if we go look at the pricing, Jerry, check it out. Like, you may think, oh, I could probably get memory for $19 a month. Well, you could if it's only one project, right? So I don't know about you, but for all of us who are working with AI, we typically have more than one project. And so if you want unlimited projects and there's nothing in between the $20 a month and the $250 a month, now you're spending another $250 a month to give your AI the memory it needs to be able to function as an agent. And this is on top of the fee you would be paying for Claude or OpenAI or some other one, or even a low priced one that would still, over time cause you fees and usage that you'd have to pay for. So this is a valuable, and this is just one. There are plenty out there. If you look up memory for AI, you'll find plenty of them out there to be able to, find memory. So what I've done is that whole setup you guys were just seeing. This, I'll share it with you one more time. This setup, I set this up so that you guys could set up your own memory, your own portable memory vault, absolutely for free, right? It's you can just download it, set it up, grab Obsidian, which is free, and you can have this set up on your computer. And basically, you will do an interview so it can get started. And every time you have conversations with your AI, it will update what it needs to. It's smart enough to know what it needs. Okay. So I'm going to share with you guys how you can get it. And then you can go ahead and grab it. Give me 1 second to pull it up. And we will go from there. All right, here we go. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. So this is SoloHQ. And this is that exact setup that I just showed you guys. All you have to do is download it and install it. And it is absolutely 100% free. You can come here and you can read all about it. And it's going to share with you how it works. And you can sign up for it. You can opt in for it and get started. So it's called SoloHQ. Let me see if I can pop up right quick the website, which I didn't do ahead of time, which I should have. Now I'm missing my thing here. Okay. So Jerry, what do you think, man? Any thoughts about that?
I mean, I like the setup and making it really convenient for people.
Yeah, I spent some time on that. All right, so there it is. It's sevenfigurepath.com. So SoloHQ, 1H. There we go. Update it. Boom. So there, if you want to grab it, you can go to sevenfigurepath.com/SoloHQ and you can grab it for free. This is our free memory install for your AI system. It works with both Claude and OpenAI's Codex. It will work with anything that reads files on your computer. Okay, so any AI that can access the files on your computer, you can install this file vault system and point it to that, and you are good and to go for installing and using SoloHQ. Again, that is sevenfigurepath.com/SoloHQ. Cool.
Yeah, man, that's good.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that, man. Yeah. So put a lot of work into that so that you guys could have an easy way to set that up and use it. And this is what we consider the foundation for agentic AI. So for you to have agents who think autonomously and work, it has to start somewhere. And one of the things that you need is your own memory about yourself and your company. And so far, the way we've been using it, it's been great because it updates the things we need as we go. As we have conversation, it updates, it writes to the files that it needs, and it saves. And you can have questions and conversations about the actual memory vault. You could be like, hey, this is, I want to improve this. So one of the things that I did was I wanted to improve um, the way it was saving memory files, right? So we had the thing that was saving some like rules, and I was like, hey, I'm starting to get pushback on these rules. We need to adjust it. And so we just basically had a conversation, and it was able to go ahead and fix and update itself. And so we went from like 55 rules down to 18. It consolidated. The cool thing is it can look at the conversations you was having and figure out how to get better. You just have to know how to talk to it. And for most of AI, the thing is how to talk to it. And Jerry, we're getting to the point where we don't really need as many prompts anymore. Okay. The prompting, you still need some, but you don't need as many because the AI is smart enough now. You can ask it for a prompt that you can then turn around and give it. Right. So it's really, really smart that way. And I appreciate the fact that we can have these conversations with it and it can give us valuable feedback that we can then turn around and put into it. So having this system is great for your task, but even more is AI is great for identifying patterns. And this is something that I know you are heavy into with the thing that you're studying, so when it comes to the AI and not just the things you're asking it to do for your business, but your own patterns that you have, it'll be able to bring those out and show you, hey, you keep doing this, you need to be aware of it so that you may not want to do it no more. And I'm speaking from my own from my own experience with my own conversations with my own AI. It becomes part of something that I look forward to working with because I know I can quickly work through some challenges that I'm having in my own business, as well as challenges I'm having solve for other clients as well. So the AI memory system changes the game because when it has memory, it knows, hey, I'll give you a perfect example. Um, I was working on, let's say, just building the SoloHQ because that's what I had the conversations to build it. And we had made certain decisions and then when I was working in it, I kind of went against my own decision. And it was like, hey, you keep waffling. You keep saying do this or do that. Now, this is the AI telling me, like, it's telling me that I'm waffling on my decisions. And so I had to address that, like, figure it out. Like, why was I waffling? Why was I going back and forth? And what did I really want? And so it helped me to get clear on the decisions that I were making based on what I wanted Solo HQ to be and how to do it. But it can only do that if it knows what the decisions you made before. So until you get to that point, the AI can only just do things that you ask it, but it can't really help you. And that's what I've been trying to tell people. And the people who experience this, the people who talk to it have a completely different relationship with AI because the AI is now using all its power when we're pretty familiar how powerful it is to help you not just do a task. And that's where things are different. And I'll share one last thing, Jerry. I think that in August of 2026, where we are today, is when the shift is going to happen. I believe for the first few years, AI is at a point where now it is going to start to separate from those who just use it to do tasks for those who can really help use it in a way to separate and what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, help them in a way that others cannot. Because right now, we're in a situation where we're starting to understand how to get AI to evaluate certain things. So when you ask it to create something or do something, how do you know it's good, right? How do you know it's done? And those of us who are at the forefront of this are figuring out how to get it to understand what is done or what is good but not good enough, right? And when those are starting to put that together and we're starting to understand, hey, we can do that, then we can give it a loop to say, continue working on this until it is at this level, an evaluation level. So instead of prompting now, it's more of giving it a goal and giving it evaluation so it can evaluate itself. And that's where, what we're up at now and where it's going to separate from those who are just using it to do tasks. And I think, for a lot of people who say don't get left behind, nobody's really left behind yet. But I believe this month, August of 2026, is when that separation starts. And I think that that's when, in a few months, we'll be able to tell if my prediction was right. But until then, If you want the brain, the AI foundation for AI agents, it is yours free at sevenfigurepath.com/SoloHQ. Go grab it up and install it and start to use AI in a much more effective way. That's what I got, bro.
Yeah, man. And I mean, I would highly recommend to those who are watching the show, those who are listening today, like let us know some of your AI challenges. Like, what are you dealing with? What hurdles are you experiencing? And how could we help you use AI in a more effective way? What do you want to know about AI and how you can use it in your business to help us gauge how we can better serve you as well?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, listen, go grab the download. And Mr. Napier, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. And let's get it. This is my gift to you guys. So if you want it, grab it up and make sure you tune in next week and every week as we start to share with you how systems over tools can help grow your business. Join the community at Seven Figure Path, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Take care.